Welcome to Pilates at Mesa Community College. Today I've got Chrissy and Melissa joining me to help us with our Pilates practice. So we'll begin seated, tall through the spine. Walk your feet a little bit closer to yourself and then scoop the belly, finding your C curve. Bringing one and then the other leg to a tabletop position. This could be your exercise. You can hold here and balance. If you're feeling up to it, we're going to roll back and roll up about 4 to 5 times. Rolling like a ball or rolling back is one of the original Pilates mat exercises, and it should feel nice on your back. So if it doesn't, stick with the balance. From here, what we'll do is open those feet about the width of the mat, keeping some bend in the knees and finding those sitting bones yet again. And from that position, fingertips reach right through the center of the legs. You're going to slide your fingertips towards your heels, and when you feel like you cannot go any farther, you're going to let your fingers press gently into the mat and pull the belly away from the thumbs and look down to the space in the center of the legs. This should be a really nice stretch for your back. Then from that position, we're actually going to open it up into sort of a saguaro cactus or goalpost position. Feel the chest and shoulders widen, and then drop back down into that spine stretch. And we'll take this about 4 to 5 times. Breathing in and breathing out, diving down. As you finish that next repetition, let the arms float out to the sides, rotate towards your screen, and then reach your pinky finger either towards your big toe or your pinky toe, whichever you're able to do most comfortably, rotating around to the second side, and we'll go right into the saw. And as you're doing your saw, your goal here is to really feel those sit bones remain anchored and not rock away from the one you're reaching away from. As you finish this last set, let's come back to hands under the thighs, but legs are still wide. We'll scoop through the belly, elevate the legs yet again into that tabletop position. This is option 1. You really want to be tucked under for this particular exercise. And then if you feel that you can, you're lengthening those legs up a little bit wherever you're willing to go. You can hold that position, or you can rock back. From there, we're going to just fold those legs in a seated, crossed position. We'll grab those feet and we'll roll back and just take a little stretch here. Take a quick moment to switch so the other foot is on top. And then reach those legs up, crossed leg, reaching the hands up, rolling the head and shoulders up, reaching the legs down a little. That top knee can be a bit bent. Okay, we're going to do the 100, and every time we get to 10, we're going to switch legs. Breathing in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out. 6, 7, 8, 9, switch. And switch. Good, keep it going. And should be getting pretty close here. And go ahead and hug those knees down into the chest. Find that tabletop position. Knees are over the hips. Body feels comfortable on the mat, so no strain at the back of the waist. Hands can be out to the side, palms up. We're going to reach one set of toes towards the floor. Exhale, pull that foot up. Alternating sides, and keep it with the toes reaching to the floor if this feels like a good challenge. Go ahead and flex those feet and reach the heel to the floor if you need that effort. And if you're not able to get to the floor without feeling stress at the back of the waist, then just head as far as you can in that direction with no pain. Good. We're going to go ahead and let the next foot coming down go all the way down, and then walk that second one down as well. Hands rest alongside the hips. We'll start with a hinge bridge, so we'll take a deep full breath in and then lift the hips towards the ceiling, resting on the shoulder blades. With your eyes, see if those knees are in line or if they opened up a little bit. And once you've figured that out, go ahead and drop the hips, creasing at the front of them, and go back up. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower, or vice versa. So the breath is a tool, not a rule. You want to use continuous breath. Good. We've got just two more. And one more. We're going to hold this one up. Shift the weight into the heels, even flexing the toes up if you wish, and drop halfway down and press back up. Halfway down and back up. Pressing through the heels should give you a little bit more of a connection with the glute and hamstring area. And we're doing 3 more of these. And 2. And 1. Hold it up. Roll the toes down. Roll the spine down, so you're really releasing one segment at a time. Excellent. We're going to take the feet back up one at a time to that tabletop position, and then place the heels together and let the knees open about the width of the shoulders. From that place, we're going to bring the hands together, palms up to the sky, and then opening that space a little wider if you need to. You're going to reach through the center of the legs, rolling up, and then come back down. Now, if you'd like to challenge yourself a bit more, as you go down with the hands coming up, you're going to stretch the legs a little bit farther away from you. Good. Let's go 2 more. And 1 more. Keep the legs where they are, but bring your hands behind your head. Okay? Just keeping your arms resting comfortably towards the mat, you're going to close and open the knees right where you are. Now, if you feel a lot of tension at the front of the hip, reach those feet a little farther away from you just to open up the front of the hip a bit more. Keep the legs open. Reach one foot towards the floor, trying to kind of keep the shape, and then bring it up and switch sides. You're going to roll your head and shoulders up, opposite elbow to the remaining knee. Good. Just one more each side. And from there, we'll bring those feet one at a time back down to the floor, parallel, but completely squashed together. So insides of the feet, insides of the ankles, all the way closed. And right from that position, let your hands rest alongside your hips. Again, we are going to do a bridge. However, if you're up to it, we're going to do a marching bridge. So one leg will go tabletop position as you push up with the other foot. And then you'll alternate every time. Good. Now Chrissy's going to go back up and Melissa's going to come down, and they're both going to extend the leg closest to the screen, to the ceiling. Single leg circles, little circles right there. Single leg circle from a bridge position is much more challenging. So the stabilization required is pretty intense. Let's pause and reverse. And then take a hold of the back of that leg. Go ahead and roll on down through the spine if you were up. And you're going to come into single leg stretch or single straight leg stretch position or scissors. So we have pulse, pulse, and switch, switch. Good. One more each side. Hug those knees into the chest. Give yourself a moment of rest. Carefully walk those feet back down to the mat. Legs squeezed together. We're going to either bridge or bridge with march when you're ready. Let's do one more, and then we'll hold that leg up and extend it to the sky. And when you're ready, single leg circles. From either the bridge position or flat on the mat. Try to make sure you're not bringing that thigh too close to the belly. That does tend to overactivate those hip flexors. Let's pause and reverse. And release down, hugging that leg into the chest, bringing the other leg in as well, holding the backs of the thighs, separating the feet slightly, soles of the feet go to the ceiling. It's a little bit of a happy baby position. You're just kind of going to rock it out. From here, we'll cross those legs and bring ourselves to a seated position. And we're just going to turn over onto our bellies. And we'll move into swan dive. We're going to start with the forearms on the mat, making sure from middle finger to elbow is in contact with the mat, and hugging the elbows in as comfortably close to yourself as possible. My head is hovering, your head is hovering. We're bringing our shoulders away from our ears. So we don't want to bring the head all the way down to the floor so that the neck is in an uncomfortable position. Take a breath, and as you exhale, draw the belly flesh in, the shoulders back, and press through the forearms. We're just lifting up high enough to look at the end of the mat. In this position, we're going to press into the palms, lift the elbows slightly, tap the elbows down. Elbows up, elbows down. Little tricep push-ups. Now we're going to increase the size a little bit, so we'll press up as far as your arms are willing to take you. Then as the elbows hit the mat, the legs lift up. We go back and forth between these two positions in our swan dive, and if it bothers your back to lift both legs at the same time, you can keep one foot down and alternate legs each time. and relax. Let's bring those elbows underneath our shoulders, drawing those shoulders back, pulling the belly flesh away from the mat. We're going to go right into single leg kick, which is a flex and a point and a lower alternate sides. Flex, point, and switch the leg. Try to keep the belly from dropping into the mat. Keep the breath constant. One more each side. And relax, pressing up and back into a rest position. Let's come into a quadruped position, hands a little forward of the shoulders, knees under the hips, leg closest to the screen reaches out. We're going to reach the top, that same side arm up, and take a little twist. Good. We're going to bring that arm down, take the leg right back behind you, toes are curled. If you need to be on your forearms, you can be. Okay, we're going to open that same arm again. The foot rotates. Good. And then we come back down. So you have two positions from which to work already, but I'm going to give you a third, and that is a full plank position. And then you'll rotate and stagger. Good. And come back. And let's do two more. Take it at your pace. Just open it up and bring it down. Last one. Open it up, bring it down, and sink on back into that rest position. As you're ready to do so, let's come back up and we'll go to the second side. Extending the leg out towards the screen, drawing a breath in, finding your position, and rotating and returning. Stick with this if this feels good. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and take that leg in line with the sit bone, rotating to your side plank with one knee down and one leg extended. And if that feels like a sufficient amount of effort, remember, we're looking to execute well, but still be challenged. Okay, so full plank, stagger with those feet. Last one. Let's come back to our rest position. And then all the way out onto the belly, you're going to roll to your side to face forward. Let the bottom knee bend. Let the top foot reach back and take hold of it with your hand. Try to get your thigh to be parallel to the floor. And if you're feeling a good stretch, stay right there. But if you need a little bit more, gently draw the leg back. And then swing that leg forward. Slide your body a little bit closer to the front edge of the mat and take a little rotation. If you find you cannot get your arms or your back shoulder down on the floor, go ahead and bend that elbow and place the palm on the side of the rib cage. Come back towards the front edge of the mat, fold the legs, bring yourself up, find a mermaid stretch, and if it feels good, take a hold of that top wrist and give yourself a little extra stretch. Release, swinging around, coming down onto the side body, finding that quadricep stretch. And drawing the leg a bit further back if you need more. Swing the leg forward, and as you feel ready to do so, open up the chest and shoulders. Return towards the front of the room and then come all the way up into your mermaid stretch. Adding that overstretch if you wish. Reaching those arms out, finding a comfortable seated position. We'll drop one ear to one shoulder. Roll the chin down towards the chest. Just let your head hang. Feel a bit of space beneath the chin so you're able to breathe. Look forward, draw the shoulders up, breathing in. Exhale, release. Other ear to the other shoulder. Chin rolls down to the chest. Take a couple of breaths. Look forward, shrug up, breathe in. Exhale, let it go. And one last time, we'll breathe in. And just exhale and relax. Nicely done. Thank you.